All right, welcome back, everybody. We are live. It's Zenith Online Racing. This is Tier 1. We are in round 11 of 18. We are at Suzuka Classic Track for the Japanese Grand Prix. And glad to have you here. We got a few people tuned in already. We got a few guys leaving the garage. As expected, Packer looking for his camera glory as the first car on track, as per usual. Looking a little choppy at the moment, the frame rate here. Not looking that smooth. There we go, settling down a bit. I was going to say, it wasn't looking great there. But, let's get settling in. Moving his way through the Degners on the outlap. We got a few guys out on the mediums right now. Ryan, Nathan, Jinnit, Hayden, and Doth all out on mediums at the moment. The rest of the guys running on softs. A lot of guys out on track already for their outlap. A lot of traffic there moving through the S's, as you can see on the little mini map. But our first hot lap of the session going to be the current championship leader by just 4 points after last race. Nathan not there. Packer went on, dominated, did what he needed to do, maximize his points haul. And now he's holding the lead of the championship for the time being. We'll see if he can maintain that by the end of the evening here in Japan. Nathan wins no matter what happens. Packer, second, third, fourth, whatever he finishes, will end up behind. So Nathan with a win can retake the championship lead. Let's get on board with Packer. Famous Suzuka circuit. So many great races here in ZOR and in F1 in real life. We got a yellow flag. Like someone maybe just pulling over perhaps, but Packer making his way through the S's right now, climbing up that hill, going to carry maximum pace, hitting these apexes perfectly, use a bit of curb there, and you're going to swing it up the hill left through the Dunlop curve, very tricky corner. You get a little too loose on the outside there, you could very well end your race. Degner 1, you want to be almost flat out there and then carry as much momentum as you can and then chuck the car through Degner 2. Barrel up the hill, and then we're going to head into the hairpin curve here. You see a lot of overtaking here. A lot of guys make mistakes in the Degner, so the hairpin becomes a fairly decent overtaking opportunity. And now we climb another hill. A lot of elevation change here at Suzuka, but all the way up the hill into the famous spoon curve. Another one you really need to get right so that you can carry as much momentum down the hill as you possibly can as we crest up the hill once again into one of the most fantastic and famous corners on the F1 calendar, 130R. This should be flat out. A little bit of curb there, getting a little cheeky, taking some extra grip on that apex, and lock up into the famous chicane where Prost and Senna crash, and that is a lap of Suzuka. Let's see what Packer can do here. It's a 125.777. Lucky time. Who else do we have? Looks like we got a Williams perhaps making his way around. Maverick just about finished his lap. Let's just stay on board with him through the chicane here. See how he does. Oh, and he cuts the circuit there. I don't know if that was already invalidated or not, but yeah, he's dove into the pits last second there. Decided not to put that time up. Obviously wouldn't have counted anyway. Get on board with Ryan as he makes his way down the hill to 130R. Flat out. Doesn't use as much curve as Packer did, but he's on those medium tires. Wants to be a little more steady. Nice and smooth into the chicane. And just down the hill into the final curve. Oh, it gets a little loose on him there. Let's see what kind of time he puts up. It's well off the pace, 28.4. Those medium tires just not doing enough at the moment. Although Nathan has put up a respectable time on those mediums, 26.2. Well ahead of anybody else on softs. So your order currently, Felipe Massacre. Also, what happened to Packer? Did his lap get invalidated there? Huh. Anyways, Felipe Massacre. I don't know if his lap got invalidated, but it was nice to ride on board with regardless. Felipe Massacre currently on provisional pole. He's been very quick since his debut here. See if we can't find somebody on a run. T-Money's off in the gravel. What is this? That's in the S's. Near the start of the lap. Packer cut the last chicane like Maverick. Okay, fair enough. I missed that. I was so enthralled calling my lap there. I wasn't even paying attention to the little map thing. Anybody on a lap? Janet pushing on these mediums. Is he, or is he just trying to get back to the pits? It's hard to say. Let's see what sector time he's got here. Well, looks like he's going for it. Yeah, he's up 2.8, so that's a substantial chunk of time. That should bring him right around P7, I would think, just ahead of Doth. Oh, that curb gets so loose there if you touch too much of it. Yeah, just actually ahead of Zem, so that's a pretty nice improvement. Up to P7. I was thinking he'd slot in just behind Zimaglis there, but nice lap there from Janet. What else do we have making their way? Looks like a Haas car. Killer Blue on an L lap. He's been pretty quick since he started driving here. Put up quite a challenge last week. I think he had some bad luck, ended up outside the podium places, but one of the quicker drivers we've got here, so let's ride on board with the Haas. Killer Blue, we'll get a nice hot lap around Suzuka and see what kind of time he can put up on these medium tires. Going for that alternate strategy here. Not a great camera shot there. Hoping for something a little better, but carrying a lot of momentum through these S's. It's like you get one of them wrong and the whole sequence of corners is off, so just a little deep there. Had to lift off a tad more than he wanted to. Up the hill through Dunlop and makes his way into the Dagners. Nice turn in there. Rides the curb perfectly. Kisses the apex there. That was just perfect. This is looking like a really solid lap here from Killer Blue. Into the hairpin now. And he's going to come up over that hill. Long sweeping right-hander. All the way up to the spoon curve. Completely dry for quali and the race. All right. So no shenanigans from the weatherman tonight. Killer Blue trying to shorten the track as much as he can, just eking over to that left side. Now hangs it through 130R. Perfectly done there, using all the track not to scrub off too much time. Turns in nicely for the chicane and does not cut it whatsoever. It's looking like a really solid lap. See what kind of time he puts up. It's 26.6, so really nice time, just behind Nathan on those mediums. Nathan out on softs now, though, so he's going to be going for pole position here. Felipe currently on provisional pole still. Matthew Durnia just starting his hot lap. We'll ride on board with the Ferrari driver. Been very strong as of late, snagged a few podiums in the past few races, and he's looking to put a good qualifying together here. Start a little further up the grid. He usually starts around P7, 8 with Joshua. The two of them usually running near each other, just inside the top 10. But Durnia always works his way up to the podium. So if he can get a really good qualifying on the board, start P4, let's say. I mean, you can pretty much lock a podium up, I would think, from that spot. Generally, week by week, he's right up there. So Killer Blue just pulling over to get out of the way. Big lock up there from Durnia. And there's T-Money moving over nicely as well. So Durnia looking a little scruffy on this lap. A little bit of traffic distracting him. Probably not going to be the greatest time here. See if he's up through Sector 2, though. Nathan improves 25.3, so 4/10 up on Felipe. Let's see what Packer can do if he can get up there and challenge Nathan for that pole. Or maybe he'll slot in just ahead of Felipe. See what happens there. Purple for Durnia. Didn't catch the split, but, I mean, purple could mean anything, really. Oh, little loose on the chicane there, and nice correction. Got through it okay. He was a little slow on the exit, but not bad overall. 26.5, so, yeah, that was a pretty solid lap from Durnia. That's what I'm saying, though. If he can start like P4, this race pace, I think he easily can snag a podium from there. Doth up into P3. That's a nice lap from Doth. So time's rolling in now. We got a few drivers making their way around. Sam just starting a lap. He's moved up to Tier 1 a few weeks ago. He's been looking really solid since then, doing well in qualifying. He's right now P9. He's gone off the track, though, so Puff in the pits, P11 currently, so Puff needing to find some time here. Zenith was on the mediums before, I believe. That's why he's so far down. So excuse me, sneeze. Whew. Zem not pushing, Sam not pushing, Scabney not pushing. Anybody pushing here? Camden's up 6.5 tenths in Sector 1. Oh no, it says he's actually down a tenth. Not sure what the timing actually means there. It looks like he's just improved though, Camden. He's up into P3, so he must be heading back to the pit lane, I would imagine. Zenith has just started a flying lap. He's actually going quite slow now, so maybe made a mistake into the first part of the lap there. Not sure. Struggling to find a good on board to ride with here. Pretty much just go by who's in overtake, but Camden we know is heading back. I guess Maverick here. Maverick, oh, he's way down. And he's invalidated once again. So here comes Packer, alright? Let's ride with Packer once again. The first lap didn't count. Let's see if he can get a lap secured here. He needs to get on the board. There's only 6 minutes left. I feel like if he makes a mistake here, he's going to have to go right into the pits to try and get back out in time. Get on board with Packer here. Pressure's on now. He's a little deep in turn 1. Nonetheless, he nailed that corner, so that probably made up for any time he lost in turn 1. And, yeah, looking really smooth through the S's here. How does he attack Dunlop? Just a little wide, but gets the car stabilized so there's no snaps. Over the Degner 1, and that was a beautiful turn in. Pretty much flat out. He didn't lift, didn't blink. And Degner 2, hardly an issue. Car looks like it's on rails right now for Packer. Just a little hesitancy on the exit of the hairpin there, so not going to carry as much speed as he possibly could up the hill here, and then touches the grass a little bit, which will probably scrub a little time off as well. Into the spoon curve, gets the first part of the corner really nice, and it's on the throttle nice and early on the exit of spoon. Got a car up the road ahead of him as he comes up the hill into 130R. Let's see if Packer improves. Yes, he's up. I don't have a split time again, but he is purple. And that car in front in a precarious position as Packer closes. Actually, Puff Digital maybe just starting his lap. Oh, Packer spun! That is big trouble for Packer. Is he going to get back into the pits? Oh, he is so lucky. Oh, my. Oh, my. He is so lucky that he was just outside the pit lane entry. My Lord, he is blessed. Let's see if he can... His pressure's really on now. He's got to get back out there and get his lap on the timesheets there. Yeah, he's going to be hard-pressed. Looking really good, though. Like, I think that would have been close to pole if he had got it done. But nonetheless, it doesn't count. So we're on board with Felipe now, who's going to be challenging for pole position here. He's 4 tenths down at the moment. Ooh, a little... He sort of straight line that Degner, and then not very good on the exit. Man, he got away with that. I thought he ran wide. Degner 2 is a little untidy. And he's got Beck on the exit of the hairpin, just getting in his way a little bit. At least making him think about it. Beck did his best to stay out of the way, but Felipe wanted to use all the track there. And Felipe now just doesn't look hooked up, does it? It just doesn't look that fast. Packer, we're on board with him, absolutely hooked up, looking like he's poised for a pole, the way he was just driving on that previous lap. It's a shame he spun. Yeah, see, Felipe down, so like I was saying, it just doesn't look hooked up. And he's low on fuel, so he might have time to dive in the pits and get back out if he just fails on this lap. He does! Oh, he's out! There's his wheel gone. There it is, rolling down the pit lane. So Felipe, I don't know what he was thinking there. I think he was trying to, like, maybe make that last second decision to dive in the pits. Camden with an excellent time there, 26.2. Holds third for now. So Felipe trying to get back in the pits, it looked like. Maybe just wasn't sure if he should finish his lap or not. And Or he's in a rush or something. I'm not sure, but put it into the barrier and lost his wheel. Saw Puff Digital right behind Doth. It's a nice time from Puff. Doth runs a little wide there, but Puff, it's a really strong lap time from him. 26.5 for him. Dernia just behind by 2 thousandths. That is very tight. Look at the midfield here. 26.2 is P3. All the way down to Jinnit in 14th is 27.2. So a second from 3rd to 14th. And it's not far off on either end of that either. So this could be a hell of a race here. Very hard to overtake. Everybody well matched on pace. Stay tuned for a cracker. All dry all the way through. Should be a good one. There's that bombing down the straight. Zamoglis. Just finished the lap time. Looks like he said up 0.6. So he's just edged out Puff. Split the Renaults. Puff getting back into the pits. He's not going to have time for another lap. So he is done for the night. At least, sorry, done for qualifying. Camden improves again. So Camden done. 26 flat for him. Probably going to hang on to P3 from that spot. Unless Jinnit, well, I guess Packer as well. Jinnit and Packer probably have something to say about that. Jinnit is going to be hard-pressed to get around in time. He's going to have to pretty much drive a full lap, like full pace here to get around, I would think. He only had about 5 seconds to spare. I'm not sure he's going to make it. Hayden off. So Hayden not getting a good lap time in here. He's lost his front wing. He's trying to get himself turned around. He's pretty much done. T-Money on an out lap as well. Is anyone on a flyer at the moment? Doth is out. Puff is out. Gotta be Packer, I would think. Packer on his out lap. Maverick on a flyer. Whoa, big collision here. What happened? Whoa. Maverick is off the track here. Did Doth get in his way or something? Or Doth's car had retired, but it's still moving for some reason on the circuit. So I think the ghost of Doth maybe collided with Maverick there and has ruined his run. Yeah, he's got no wing. Something's happened there. That is very bizarre. Packer on his outlap still. Assuming he's going to get around in time. What about Jinnit? Is he going to make it? Oh, it's going to be nip and tuck. Jinnit just about going to make it, though. He does make it. Packer isn't going to make it? Packer does not make it. Packer did not make it around in time. What on earth happened? He had plenty of time to get back out there. What on earth is going on here? Packer down in P17. Current championship leader hasn't even set a qualifying lap. Maverick been robbed by the ghost of Doth, it would appear. So, I'm not sure who's on runs, but we got Dernia up the road. Jinnit. Jinnit's on a run. Imagine anybody making their way around the pit lane right now. Or towards the pit lane. So maybe Sam. Sam's done. He's invalidated. Other cars, I don't think. So I guess it's just Jinnit. Jinnit and Dernia. Let's check in with Dernia. Just about to finish his run. He's up about a 10th. That's going to help a little bit. Oh, up into P4. That's a big jump. So P4 and 5 for the Ferraris currently. That's a nice lap time. Just what he needed. Jinnit bombing down the straight now to 130R. He is up 3.8. That is going to put him... Geez, that's not much of an improvement. Maybe just outside the top 10. Yeah, P12, so... Jinnit not having the greatest qualifying session out there. I think that's it for quali. Unless Nathan's on another run now. He's just stopped. I think he knows he's not going to be beat. He's doing some quali donut finishes. A little bit selly there, I guess. Gets away with it. Packer down in P17. That is a rough go for Packer. So, we'll review the order. Nathan on pole. Felipe second. Camden goes P3. Nice quali from Camden. I think that's 2 or 3 weeks, or at least 2 weeks in a row. He's been in the top 4 for quali. I think he was 3rd last week. Beck, nice lap from Beck as well. P4 for Beck. Then Dernier and Joshua, 5th and 6th. Dernier going to do some damage there from P5. I think he's going to be him and Camden fighting for that final podium place, and then Packer's going to be charging through the field, chasing them down as well. So that should be really interesting. Joshua P6, Doth P7, Zem P8, Puff just inside the top 10, P9, Killer Blue in 10th on the mediums. So not bad. That's not much of an advantage to the other guys. Just one place further up the road on the mediums. All right, we'll have a quick little break here. Just 2 minutes. If anyone readies up, they get a penalty. So hopefully we see everybody sit patiently until the green light is given by Puff. Eric has joined for the race, so we have an extra car on the field now. He was trying to get in for quali, but didn't quite make it. There was a patch today. Every time we warn people in the Discord that an update, there's always somebody shows up 5 minutes before the race and doesn't realize there's an update. So mine updates overnight while it's in rest mode. It's a really easy feature to turn on, and it's pretty nice. Any game you play regularly will just update while you're when it's available right away. So highly recommend doing that. Highly recommend. Strongly encourage everybody to use that feature. Ooh, Hannah Montana theme song. That's no good. He was very lucky he didn't pass it there. Illegal donuts. Bones is just out there looking for blood. One of the most vindictive stewards we have, by far. Used to be Barton. Barton used to be a terror, but Bones has assumed the position for this season. Lays down the hammer. Doesn't look back. You don't provide your race director? Too bad. That's the Bones way. Fair play, though. I mean, I sort of agree to an extent. Like, you're kind of like, well, you know, really shouldn't have even happened to T-Money. The whole game is broken because it does that, but everybody knows you got to give the race director for penalties too, so it's kind of like, you know. One of those things. We'll go through the rest of the order here, actually. T-Money P11, speaking of T-Money. P11. AlphaTauri, and then we got Jinnit, Sam, Ryan, Scavney, Hayden, Packer. That's shocking to see Packer and Maverick back here. And then Eric, obviously, probably would have been further up the field had he made it for quali, but did not. And starting P19, but at least he gets to race. I mean, so we should check the tires everybody's on. So Sam, the only guy opting for the hards. Everybody else outside the top 10 on the medium tires. So Sam going very long, hopefully. That's his intent. Started off some sort of chatter in the stream here. I read the admin update. You'd be surprised how much I read. I only come in and stir the pot once a week, but I'm still watching. No, I read the admin update. I mean, it's one of those things. Like on the side of logic, like, yeah, take the penalty away. But as far as, like, you know, it's like asking to steward someone without footage. It's like, well, you didn't give footage. Like, nothing. We're not going to do anything. Whoa! Nathan has crashed on the formation lap. The Fuzz Special returns. This time, Nathan the victim. And it has happened. That's a good thing the formation lap doesn't count, but yeah, that's going to hurt his tires a little bit, I feel. Just, what is he, P12 now? Just rolling around like nothing happened. Like, oh yeah, I'll just keep warming my tires. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Alright, so Felipe, now the lead car, taking his grid slot in P2. and the rest of the field lining up behind. We're getting ready to go racing here. It's Zenith Online Racing. This is the Tier 1 group. We're in round 11, so well beyond the halfway point in the season now. 18 races to go. Or not 18 to go, but 18 total, so 7 after tonight. Championship getting really spicy, and we got the field just lining up here. We're going to get these lights fired up, and we're going to go racing here at Suzuka. We got 3, 4, all 5 lights on. And we're racing. Looks like a very good launch from Nathan there. Felipe not off to a good start, but Camden, maybe even Beck is going to get Felipe here. Camden with a very good start. We got a yellow flag. Someone stopped on the grid. Looks like Scavney maybe spun on the start. Maybe he was crunched by somebody. And we have a virtual safety car early. See, did anybody make up any ground here? Puff and Doff lost some ground. It looks like maybe we just got some timing errors. Who knows? No, looks like everything's okay. I'm not sure what happened to Scavney, though. I remember I got put in the wall on a race start here a season or 2 ago. Just everybody jockeying for position sort of just got squeezed. Actually, I remember, yeah. I was displeased with the steward's decision. Let's just say that. That's all we're gonna say. Yeah, we're gonna get racing again in a moment, and we'll get back to the front of the field. Nathan, the lead car still. Felipe, not a very good start for him at all. Camden has jumped him, so let's see if Felipe comes under pressure here from Dernier. He does. Dernier all over the back of Felipe. Can Dernier make a move here into the spoon curve? He goes for it. Oh, and he's touched. Dernier has spun. That's a precarious position to be parked. Oh, no. Oh, man, he's so lucky he's ghosted. Oh, I thought that was a DNF coming. Whew. All right. Anyways, I've had my heart attack for the night. Forgot ghosting. He's lucky he went ghost, because you never know if you actually are or not. He's probably thinking, I'm already in the line of fire, I better move. Here comes Ryan down the inside into the chicane. Oh, it's Prost and Senna nearly. T-Money defends that position nicely. Get back up to the front here. What is going on with the timing? It's horrendous. Felipe. So Dernier's lost a lot of ground from that incident. I had no business sticking his nose in there. I really don't think that move was on. And if you looked at where Felipe was... Sorry, where's Camden gone? Oh, Camden's in the lead now. Oh, no, sorry, Nathan in the lead. Nathan's still in the lead. Okay, so the timing's just a little messed up. But, yeah, Felipe was at the edge of the circuit. I mean, there was not much more room he could have given. I'm going to say that one's on Dernier, I think. Just, you should have let it go. It wasn't on. Really, front wing to the rear tire. I mean, that's... Just, you don't... it's hard to... Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, you don't want... The guy... It's not like he turned in. Let's just say that. He didn't really turn in, you know? It was more like Dernier ran out of road and... You know, with just the front wing barely inside the framework of the car in front, you're not expected to be given much room. So it's kind of on that overtaking driver to lift out of that move, I think. But I think once he committed and gone for it, it was a little too late. He probably wasn't going to be able to stop himself. So that's that. Joshua going to be closing in on back now. So we got a little bit of spacing occurring at the moment. We got Killer Blue looking to apply some pressure to Joshua. The camera angles have been horrendous here early, and Beck makes a big mistake there. Goes very wide, and that's brought Joshua and Killer Blue right up to the back of him. Packer's left the session. He's dropped. So things going from bad to worse from Packer. Got a freebie race last week where his closest competitor in the championship didn't score points, and now this week he's he's pit for hards? What's happened there? So did Packer drop or did he leave? I'm not sure, but either way, he's having some issues here tonight, and he's pit for hard tires on lap 1 or 2 apparently. I don't know if that's a strategy move or maybe the EAI has pitted him for some reason while he's dropped. I have no idea, honestly, but See if he rejoins. If not, it's going to be dire straits. Killer Blue making his way again with the camera angles. Horrendous here. Joshua, let's ride with him. He's getting better broadcast views. Look at that timing for just 1 second. Nice little shot of the guys moving through the chicane there. So we got Joshua and Killer Blue closing behind. Killer Blue with that DRS now. Taking a crack, but Joshua able to fight back with his own DRS. And holds the position there. The crowd applauding my camera work. Thank you. Got T-Money very close to Ryan here. Sort of hounding him through the S's right now. We're not really a great place for an overtake here, but as I mentioned, if you get the Degners wrong, you can make a move. So let's see if T-Money can pressure Ryan into a bit of a mistake here and maybe get him up the hill into that hairpin. Right on board with T-Money. He's cut that corner, I believe. Probably got a warning for that. Ryan looking smooth, though, so not on yet for T-Money, but perhaps into Spoon he can take a look. Just got Jinnit applying the pressure to Puff there. Those mediums starting to come to life, it looks like. Killer Blue applying pressure to the soft runners in front of him as well. T-Money not close enough in Spoon. Not going to be close enough in 130R either. Looks like Ryan just, well, maybe. He is closing. So Ryan seems to be struggling for grip on these mediums at the moment. Where T-Money looks a little bit quicker. T-Money taking a peek, but not close enough. Let's see. Keep an eye on those intervals ahead. Nobody close enough. Killer Blue not quite close enough. Looks like Jinnit maybe having a look at Puff, but not close enough. T-Money is close enough, though. He's going to take a run here with that DRS. Into turn one, down the inside. Ryan goes very deep to defend and gets a lot of traction on that outside. Manages to just keep the place. So nice work from Ryan there. Takes a very unorthodox line, but a line that provided a lot of grip, and he manages to hang on to that position. Some nice driving there from Ryan. I've seen him doing some really good defending lately. Let's move up the field a little bit here. We got a nice shot there. Car's coming right over the camera. Got Puff challenging Zem, and he's got Jinnit and Durnia for company. Killer Blue really applying the pressure to Joshua now, who has picked up a penalty as well. Bit of a lock up there for Puff. That's going to hurt him as they head towards Spoon. Jinnit closing in. Can Jinnit make a move into Spoon? Does he need to? Probably not. No, he's not close enough yet. And that rear wing of Puff here as we make our way up the hill to 130R. Jinnit closing. Is he close enough? Not quite. So we shouldn't really see a move here yet, but let's get up here to Killer Blue applying pressure to Joshua, and we got a really large chunk of cars stuck in the midfield here behind Joshua, sort of the leader of this pack right now. He's got Killer Blue, Doth, Zem, Puff, Jinnit, Durnia, all very close. Here comes Killer Blue looking to make his way through and start breaking away from this crowd. He does. Killer Blue gets the move done. Any guys behind making a move? No, they're all stuck together. Everybody using DRS for defense as well. And now let's see where Joshua falls to. Is Joshua the slower of this group, or is he just a little slower than a couple guys? And we'll see if he slides all the way down, or maybe now with DRS he's able to fight back and sort of hold position here. Nice move from Killer Blue, though, to get himself ahead. Oh, Puff has made a mistake in Degner. Hayden is out. And that's a virtual safety car. Packer has rejoined. So, Durnia, I believe, has made an illegal overtake on Puff. I'm not sure. I know he lost out to Jinnit for sure. Did he lose out to Durnia as well? I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but Puff, yeah, with a little bit of an error, it seems, through Degner 1. It just cost him just enough time to lose the place to Jinnit. So BSC ended. We've lost all our intervals. I know that there's a few cars close in this pack, so I'm going to stick with this until we get them back. Hayden has left the session, obviously retired. No point in sticking around, really. Doth applying that pressure to Joshua now. Can Doth find a way through there? Janet, the only guy in this pack on the mediums. Killer Blue as well. At the front of it now. Nobody really close enough for a move here. Nice shot there. Cars making their way through turn 1. Beautiful stuff. Camera director has stepped his game up since I called him out. So Puff down to P11 now. He's losing a bit of time to the cars in front. Definitely needed to stick in that group to use that DRS to his advantage to keep running here, this front pack. He's going to have to close back in and try and get that DRS back. What should we see? We could see some scraps up the road, which could help him close in as well. So just got to keep his head down. I don't think he took any damage there. But he's probably gotten away with that. Big snap there from Zem, and that is going to put him under severe pressure from Jinnit. Jinnit looking to go around the outside through this turn, and that'll be the inside for Spoon Curve, but he isn't close enough for a move. Doth runs wide. Just up the road there, you see. So Puff is starting to reel Dernia in a little bit. That could help. He's going to have enough of a slipstream to probably gain. Not quite. The problem is once you have a spin or a little half spin or a move like that, you lose your temperatures, and it takes a lap or two to get them back to where they need to be, and very easy to start losing ground at that point. Zem into the pits. Dernia applying pressure now to Jinnit. Anybody else in the pits? Puff as well dives in. Puff going to put hards on, I presume. Zem puts hards on. Yeah, so everybody... Oh, Puff going for mediums. We got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Who's that off? Is it a McLaren? Is it Beck? It is. Beck off the road. Rejoins in a precarious position. Getting himself sorted out here. Oh, there's his teammate, Eric, nearly colliding with him. Oh, Beck off again! He's onto the barrier now. Jeez. Got a little too greedy trying to get back to the pit lane. Oh, and he's reset to track, and he's been busted for that. You're not allowed to do that. That is a penalty. And what's the penalty for that one, Bones? You know it. It's a few points at least. Has Dernia had an off? He has. Dernia's off. So Dernia's gone off in the Degners. He's falling down the order now. Everybody by Dernia. Puff on fresh tires is now past Dernia. That is bad news for Matthew Dernia. He is looking... he's had a couple mistakes here tonight, and first one a collision, where he probably shouldn't have been there. This time he's maybe a collision again, but either way he's lost the car. I'm on board with Maverick now, who's got a front row seat for T-Money versus Ryan. Oh, big mistake for T-Money. T-Money goes super deep there, and Maverick has gotten through. Nice job for Maverick capitalizing on that one. T-Money with a big error, but T-Money gets a good exit here. He's going to have a chance to fight this back into turn 1. Is he going to have the grip or the brakes? No, he doesn't. They are closing fast on Ryan, though. Ryan's struggling on these mediums. He must have overheated them or something early. Doth has pit. He's out on the mediums now. Puff a few seconds behind them, but should be able to work on driving some clear air with some fresh tires now. Probably can reel these guys back in. These guys here are going to be losing time to those guys that have pit behind them. Another yellow flag in Sector 1. Who is that off? Is it Beck again? No, it can't be. It's Eric this time, I believe. It is. Eric has lost it in Sector 1. Comes Doth around Eric, and... Ooh! The Red Bull of Zamoglis through the Degners trying to make a sneaky move as well. That was very dangerous. Could have been dicey. So Doth is through. Let's get back to this little scrap. Not much action going on at the front. Nathan kind of running away a bit. Felipe trying to hang on. Camden falling back, but Camden actually doing a fairly good job hanging on to Felipe, who has dove in the pits now. Camden follows him in, so those guys looking to maybe try an undercut on Nathan. Nathan had a pretty good gap, though. I don't know if undercut territory even exists with that kind of window. So it looks like the pit window definitely open. Everybody diving in now. Ryan, Maverick, T-Money. See if Maverick can make a move here. Great shot, race director. There we go. Let's get that on board. Tries that little switchback move, but it's not on. And T-Money using that to close. Eric, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. If he pits again, he can serve that. Otherwise, it'll be tacked on at the end. Jinnett now closing on Joshua. So Jinnett on these mediums has worked his way up into P3 almost. Obviously, he has to pit again, but he's got a fairly large gap behind him to anyone else who has pit. So Jinnett looking like he's in a good spot here. It's already P12, I believe. So not a great qualifying for him, but using his race pace to move up the field and close in on a potential podium here tonight. And he's going to make the move through 130R. They're going to be side by side, and nope, they're not side by side. Joshua tucks in. Felipe, he's close for a move here. Felipe around the outside through 130R. Oh, they get through. They're still side by side into the chicane there. And Felipe gets the move done. Nice work from Felipe getting that move. Nicely done through 130R by both drivers, hanging it in there. Maverick and T-Money now fighting into turn one. T-Money's been very close a few times. He's good on the brakes here. Let's see if he can hang it. Maverick very deep. Oh, and they touch. Maverick, as he's trying to correct, T-Money slams into the side of him. Can't really blame either driver there. Maverick's trying to get hold of the car. T-Money just trying to make the corner. T-Money didn't really do anything erratic. He was taking his normal line. Maverick just, with the correction, slammed into the side of him there, so I can't say there's much in that. I don't think it really cost either driver any time anyway, other than the fact Maverick ultimately ended up losing the position, but it looked like T-Money was probably going to get him anyway, so I don't think there's much to look at there. Here comes Camden on his fresh tires. He's got a few cars on old mediums to pick off in front of him. Let's watch Camden make his way through this little bunch. Other than that, the timing fairly well split up at the front there. Nothing too dire that we need to keep an eye on, so take this stuff off the screen for you. And let's watch Camden Luca try to carve his way through these old medium runners. First guy into 130R. He's going to hang it down the inside. Nice job by both drivers there. He picks off Maverick into the chicane, late on those brakes with those fresh medium tires. Much better grip, and gets the move done. So next up, we got T-Money, I believe. Yes, T-Money. Joshua has pit. So Camden's got T-Money next on the list, and T-Money is actually closing right in on Ryan as well. I guess we can ride with T-Money and sort of watch this little battle. Great shot there. We'll take all that stuff off the screen for you for just a minute. We'll watch some cars go around Suzuka. Camden really going to be applying the pressure to these two, but T-Money and Ryan jockeying for position on the same strategy, whereas Camden has already made his pit stop, so he's on much fresher rubber, and he's going to be getting a little frustrated, stuck behind these guys. He's going to want to do everything he can to make his way through as quickly as possible. T-Money trying to close in. Let's see who's got more grip on the exit here. Camden, it looks like he got a really good exit as they come up the hill toward 130R. I don't think he's going to be close enough for a move yet. Down the main straight surely, though. There's T-Money with a really good exit out of 130R and down the inside into the chicane. Big lockup for T-Money. Tried a very late move there. It sort of just presented itself, and he went for it. But here he comes now, applying the pressure to Ryan. He's going to have that DRS, and so is Camden. So T-Money with the DRS, moving to the inside. Looks like he's going to get that place. They're side by side. Ryan goes a little deep trying to defend, and T-Money gets it done. And now Camden right behind Ryan as well. Let's check him with the timing sheets. We got Puff making a move on Zem. Gets it done down that main straight. Nice move from Puff there. And we'll get back to Camden, who's all over the back of Ryan now. as they enter the Degners. Ryan just struggling for grip. These medium tires just not really working for him. Why does it say pit window? Well, I guess we're stuck with that for the rest of the race. Camden using all of his juice here. He's got hardly anything left in the tank, and he's going for it. No, he does not get it done. Wants to get it done into Spoon. Probably will get it done here through 130R. Ryan's been struggling through there. He's been lifting a little bit. Camden can probably just keep it flat and get by. Ryan, yeah, just harvesting a little bit there too, so just derating a touch. Joshua making his way by Sam as they enter 130R. Nice move there. And this should be it for Camden, although Ryan is all over T-Money now. So Ryan going for a move on T-Money. This is really hurting Camden. He needs to find a way through here. Cannot get stuck squabbling with guys on old tires. Unfortunately, both these guys running really nicely on their older set of tires, and Camden just not able to find a way through at the moment. The first car he picked off no problem. Maverick, he got by like it was a breeze. I thought he was just going to carve through, but these two have been posing quite a problem. It's very short straight here for overtaking, so these two getting DRS on each other has been helping them. Camden with a really nice exit out of Degner 2. Is he going to get it done into the hairpin here? He's looking for it. Here he goes, down the inside. No. Oh, T-Money goes very deep, though. Camden on the exit. Oh, so close there. But Camden with way more traction as they come up the hill into the Spoon curve. Camden is going to go for this. Can T-Money fight this back? Oh, they touch. Oh, Camden right to the edge of the circuit. I think that's a fair move, though. All said and done, it looked like T-Money just sort of closed in on... so T-Money picks up a penalty for that. So, you know, at the very least, T-Money should get that removed, I feel. I wouldn't say Camden deserves a penalty for putting him there. That's sort of just hard racing. T-Money kind of turned in on Camden there as they entered the Spoon curve, and got a little dicey there for both guys, but ultimately they came out on top, so... Camden just trying to break that double toe there so he can get away from T-Money a little bit. But yeah, unfortunate stuff for T-Money there. Picks up a penalty while he's battling with Camden, who's closing on Ryan. Picked up a penalty for that, and definitely should get that removed, I feel. But I don't think there's much to look at beyond that. I think it's fair play from Camden. Had the right line. He's equally alongside, so... I wouldn't say he barged him off the road. He sort of just didn't leave him room. I would say that's just good hard racing. I'd be hard pressed to penalize that as a steward if it was my job. So that's my opinion on it. Here comes Camden again into the Spoon curve. He's looking to make another move here. Can he get by Ryan into Spoon? Gets on that curb, and Ryan just yields the place there. Didn't want to risk anything. Camden very aggressively puts his car in the right place, and made sure he knew. Made sure to let Ryan know that he was taking that position, and Ryan didn't want to fight it. So, good stuff from Camden there. Finally gets by the two cars that were holding him up, and now he can go and charge up the road a little bit. Maybe try to close that gap on Felipe a tad. Jinnett needs to pit still, so Camden currently sitting in what should be a podium place. Well, he's lost a lot of time. Killer Blue out front needs to pit. I don't think Camden will be behind Killer Blue through the pit window, but Killer Blue will come out with fresher tires very close to Camden, so Camden definitely needs to get on his horse there and start scampering up the road to make sure he can cover off the pit window for Killer Blue. He's still ahead at the moment. It's just a matter of how much time can he build now, and see how long it takes Killer Blue to close in on him. Killer Blue could come out in traffic though. That could hurt him big time, right? So you never know. But Camden freed, and now it's back to the T-Money and Ryan battle. Puff closing on Sam back there, trying to make a move, and we also have Joshua and Doth fairly close as well. So let's stick with the little battle between Puff and Sam here. Puff putting the pressure on. He's on fresher mediums, while Sam's on old hards. So Sam started on those hards, trying to go very long and get to the softs for a nice short window. Killer Blue pits. So this is pretty important for Camden here. See where he comes out in comparison to Killer Blue. I'd imagine Killer Blue is going to come out behind Ryan and T-Money, but those guys probably going to be pitting as well. Yeah, they do. So does Killer Blue come out behind Maverick? Oh, too far. So Camden, yeesh. It's only 1.3 ahead of Killer Blue, who's on soft tires. So Camden's going to have to do some very hard defending to keep Killer Blue at bay here if he wants to hang on to his podium. That's going to be a good little scrap. And Doth got Joshua applying some pressure behind. Jinnit on fresh softs, and then Puff a little further down the road on the fresh mediums. Has made it by Sam. So Puff going to the end. He's into the points now. We got Zem on hards. He's parked himself right in front of Ryan and T-Money on fresh softs. So that's going to hurt those two. That'll help Puff a lot. Having Sam and Zem between them should help Puff get away a little bit. And then he's got to try and close on Jinnit and Joshua well up the road here. Jinnit looking to make a move on Joshua here. Fresh softs for Jinnit, so we're going to see him do some racing here. Oh, he cuts that corner for sure. Right on the grass. And probably at least picked up a warning on that one. Joshua does have a penalty just ahead of him, so... few lockups into the chicane. See if that's going to cost anybody. Camden, Killer Blue has made it by Camden already. What on earth? I did not expect that. Did not expect that. I was expecting it to take another lap or so before really in striking range, but he's made it through. He's got a 3-second penalty, though, so Camden can work on hanging near that window. And then Doth and Jinnit wheel to wheel. See a lot of dirt getting kicked up there. Jinnit trying to make his way through. Joshua actually has passed Doth, so I'm not sure if Doth had a moment there. Here comes Jinnit around the outside on Dunlop into Degner 1. He's got that place. Doth just has to yield it. Smart move from Doth there. I definitely don't want to try and turn in with another car there, so. Jinnit on those fresh softs looking very racy. He's got a lot of work to do once he gets by Joshua, though, if he wants to go hunt down Camden. He's got 8-second gap there to work on, so not sure if that's going to pay off for him or not. Beck is out in Sector 1. He's lost it, so it's another VSC. Is that going to help anybody near the pit lane right now? Felipe is near the pit lane. Maybe considers going in. No, he does not. Camden maybe thinks about it. He can cover off Joshua from here if he doesn't think he can catch Killer Blue. Nope, stays out. Beck is left. Yeah, so Beck out in turn 1 there, it looked like. I think we can get a shot. Yeah, he's definitely got on the throttle a little too early here and gone right off into the wall, so that's unfortunate for Beck. Anyone pitting? Sam pits. So Sam needed a pit anyway. Pits under the VSC to get off his hard tires. I imagine Packer as well. No, Packer stays out. I guess Packer has pit to the hards quite early here, so... Or quite, yeah, early in the race, so he actually is done. He doesn't have to come in. He's going to be under pressure. He's sort of in no man's land back there. He's running P12 right now. Jinnit on the restart, down the inside on Joshua. Gets that place into Degner 1. Jinnit just so confident through the Degners. It's the second overtake he's made through there in the last 2 laps. Another one bites the dust, and Jinnit on his way to chase down Camden. 8.5 seconds. Let's see if he can... he's got 8 laps to make up 8 seconds. I think he could do it with those softs. Let's see what kind of pace Camden's got to cover that off, though. No penalties for either driver. Yet. Jinnit been pretty good on penalties lately, though. I noticed Jinnit usually picked up quite a few time penalties every race and was hurting him a lot. And think he's made it a focus of his to make sure he's not doing that anymore, because lately he hasn't picked up too many, if any, at all. That stuff helps at the end of the race for sure. What's going on in the chat? Yeah, exactly. Listen to Hannah Montana, Packer. Yeah, Packer's just... he dropped out of the session for like 5 or 6 minutes, so that's probably hurt him a lot. On top of the fact that he pit really early for hards. I don't know, I'm just not really sure what's going on there. Bad qualifying and then terrible luck in the race, and I mean, if he gets a couple points out of this, I think he'll be happy. So T-Money and Ryan, you guys can commentate in the chat. I'm going to go refill my wine here. So I've gotten through. It's been such a great race. I've just been sipping away. My juice. Refill my juice. I would never drink on the job. Oops. All right, T-Money and Ryan. Nothing changed. Perfect. These two have been going at it for nearly the entire race, honestly. Oh, we got another yellow flag in Sector 2. The car is recovered, though, so he should be okay to keep moving. Maverick and Packer. Has Maverick just overtaken Packer? He has, so... Yeesh, Packer's night going from bad to worse here. He's actually losing ground. He's trying to close in on that top 10. T-Money hunting down Ryan, but not close enough to get that move done. And Packer fighting it back now. So the two most recent champions in in ZOR, Tier 1 champion Packer from last season and Tier 2 champion Maverick from last season. Now on track together, racing in Suzuka. Maverick getting a lot of dirt on both sets of tires there. Packer doing everything he can to fight this back on these old hard tires. So a formidable effort from him nonetheless. Oh, Jinnit has made a mistake, it seems. He's lost ground. So he's off, and now Joshua and Doth have moved ahead of him. And Puff going to be able to close in now. So Puff only 2.8 off Jinnit here. It's about a second up on Zem, so it's a little bit of a battle here between the mediums and the hards. See if Puff can keep that covered off. Should be able to on the mediums. Here comes T-Money. Ooh, going around the outside into the chicane. Can he get it done? Nice heli shot there. And wheel-to-wheel bumper. Oh, they're bumping and grinding. And T-Money and Ryan still wheel-to-wheel. Ryan looks like he got a pretty good exit here, but T-Money's is a little bit better, and he's going to have that DRS advantage as well. He gets it done. Nice move from T-Money there. Stuck with it. Completed the overtake. Packer not close enough to get his move done on Maverick. So we got a few good battles going on through the field here. Packer on an awful strategy. Just trying to recoup anything he can. He's got to get by Maverick if he wants a chance of points here. And they're wheel-to-wheel into the Degner, but Maverick... Oh, does he hold it? Not quite. He does hold it. Whoa, there goes Packer. Big snap. I thought he was going around there, and he somehow saved that thing. That looked like a car rotating to me. I don't know. I can't believe when we got the next shot that he was still facing forward. Doing everything he can to get by Maverick here. He's well off the points at this rate, but he's got to keep fighting if he wants to get in there. He's trying to get by. Just doing some weaving. Maybe trying to warm those tires up for a nice exit out of the final turn. Doth close, but not close enough to Joshua. Puff losing some ground to Jinnit here. He's got Zem pressuring him now. So Zem on the hard tires, applying the pressure to Puff on the mediums. We'll see how that shakes out. Packer around the outside on Maverick here. He's going to go for the switchback. Beautiful move from Packer. Slices. Oh, what a snap. That was a save and a half. Oh, my. I can't believe he saved that thing. That car looked like it was gone. And not only did he save it, but he managed to complete the overtake in the process. That was brilliant stuff from Packer. Whew. That was incredible, really. Great stuff. What a highlight that'll be. Doth now coming up the hill into the spoon curve. Can he make a move on Joshua? No, he tucks in. He's thinking about it, but Joshua kind of squeezed that line, made it very narrow, and Doth had to reconsider his plans. And Jinnit has come back into play after his little mistake, so if Jinnit can get in front of these two and he didn't really lose all that much, it wouldn't be too bad for him. It looks like he's got the pace to do it. It's just a matter of time. See if Jinnit can get it done now. Is he close enough to Doth? He is not. Let's check in further back. We got T-Money under pressure from Ryan again. Does T-Money have enough juice in the tank to fight this back? Well, it doesn't look like it. Ryan going around the outside now. Wheel to wheel into turn one. I've been saying that about these two all race. And T-Money holds place for now. Maverick looking to fight back. Oh, Packer! Oh my, what a save again. Packer got loose on that inside line and smacked into Maverick and somehow kept the car straight again. That's got to be his third save in the last 3 laps. It would have been his race over had he lost it. So good stuff from Packer there, hanging on. Giving us some action here, fighting tooth and nail. Even if he doesn't get a point out of it. I mean, a brilliant drive for him on these really old hard tires after a rough night. Some technical issues, it seems. Zem working on Puff here, trying to get another point out of it, or 2 points out of it. Puff going to get a little handful for himself if he hangs on to this spot. Let's check out on the penalties again. Puff with 11 seconds of penalties, but Zem has 8, so that's actually going to move Ryan, T-Money, maybe even Maverick up as well. Puff might not even get points, and Zem might not either. Maverick just really needs to... I mean, Packer could even get points here. Well, I guess not, because he's too many cars down, but if Packer gets in front and can whittle a second or two closer, then he probably can get a point or two out of that. Comes Puff looking to make a move. Sorry, Zem looking to make a move. Puff trying to defend it around the outside. So Puff hangs on for now. T-Money and Ryan are closing on them. Packer makes the move. I think he's by Maverick, so it just needs to find a couple seconds and he could easily get a point out of this. Or maybe even 2. So I think Puff and Zem are going to drop quite substantially. So he needs a couple seconds of time here. Sector 1 yellow flag. We've got... Is it Packer? Packer's off. He's finally lost the car on these hard tires. He's got a puncture. His front left tire is punctured. So Packer going to be limping home. That's it for him. He's not going to get any points tonight here. What a rough night for Packer. That's good news for Maverick. He'll be left alone now. He might snag some points. He'll probably get a point off Puff at least. Not sure about Zem at this rate, but Eric by as well. So Packer just, yeah, really struggling. He's pretty much done for now. Let's get back to the front here. We got a last lap battle for P5 going on here. Doth is actually at the front of this group with no penalties. He's in P5. That's a really nice drive from Doth if he can hang on to this. Actually second last lap here. So we're on the penultimate lap. These guys have this lap and the next to get by. Zem going by Puff. He gets it done. And T-Money and Ryan. So Jinnit right on the tail of these guys. Jinnit does pick up a penalty finally. Doth with no penalties. He'll hang on to that place regardless, it would seem. You'd like to get it on track, I feel, though. So Dernia had a rough night. Packer had a rough night. Just a lot of guys struggling out there. A lot of issues. Can't really blame Packer. I think it's more of a technical issue than anything tonight. And obviously he was just pushing like a maniac to try and make up all the lost time. And unfortunately just gone from bad to worse. So Jinnit, Joshua, and Doth scrapping it out for P5 on the final lap here in Suzuka. We got T-Money. Oh, Jinnit with a big moment there. A little bit of a snap, and that's going to hurt him on the final run. This could give Joshua an opportunity. Well, Doth doing a nice job keeping that gap, so. Dernia's out. Dernia has lost it through Dunlop, it would seem. It looked like he pit for... Backers put the inters on. It looked like Dernia had pit to go for fastest lap, and then through in pushing, he's gone and lost the car. So Joshua, not close enough to Jinnit, or sorry, to Doth. Jinnit has lost a little bit of ground there. T-Money, is he close enough to Ryan? No, he's not. So looks like these positions should hold. Joshua following closely behind Doth and Jinnit in tow. Another yellow flag, and that looks like Packers lost it on the inters now. Not surprising. You'd have less grip than a punctured tire, I feel. Yeah, bizarre. I guess he's just going for lulls at this point, but Jinnit doing everything he can to try and snatch another point off Joshua here. There's Packer in the way as a ghosted car. Luckily, he is ghosted. So he's definitely in the way of what was a really good battle here. Jinnit closing, but not going to be close enough here. Joshua got just enough top speed to hang on to this. Joshua with a big lockup, and that's it for Japan. Doth going to cross the line in P5. Joshua in P6. Jinnit in P7. We're going to go back down to Ryan and T-Money, scrapping it out with Puff for that those final few points places. And that's it. Puff picked up a penalty for that. I don't think he cared at that point, but he was out of the points already. You know what? Was he out of the points, though? If that 5-second penalty, he might have actually gotten a point. I don't know what he was thinking there. Anyways, let's run you through the order. That's it for the race. Nathan wins it. We barely even saw him tonight. Nathan out front for most of the race. P1. Felipe picks up P2. Killer Blue in P3. Camden takes P4. Nice drive from Camden tonight. Doth with an excellent drive, one of his best of the season. P5 for Doth. Joshua P6. Jinnit P7. Ryan P8. T-Money P9. And Zmaglis P10 for that final point position. That's it for round 11. So 7 more races to go. Championship. The wine got me there. Very bitter. And I just sort of lost my word there. But the championship has swung massively in the direction for that man. Michael Schumacher, a.k.a. Nathan, a.k.a. what was his other name? Noob. Lando as well. So this man has multiple names, and apparently is also Michael Schumacher driving for Williams. But this man has taken the lead of the championship by what should be, my math, that's terrible, 21 points. Yeah, 21 points. That's a substantial lead with 7 races to go. We'll go through the rest of the order here. Puff in P11, Maverick P12, Sam P13, Eric 14, Scabney 15, Packer 16. Dismal race for him. It's got to be his worst one of the season by far. Dernia P17, Beck P18, and Hayden P19 crashed out very early in this race. And Beck had the pace, but yeah, unfortunately, just ended up DNFing. So rough night for Beck. You see the pit strategies there. tires, pit stops. One man opting for the inters, despite there not being a cloud in the sky. And we're going to get these guys in for an interview. It's going to be one brief moment. I get a party going here. Man, I swear this PlayStation's gotten so slow. Really need to add these guys. So they keep showing up every week. And then the other guy's Killer Blue something? Oh, man. He's got some numbers at the end. I'm not even going to remember what they are. Does anyone tell me what they are? Yeah, he kind of did. I mean, I don't know, whatever. I mean, he does such a good job every week. You can't really blame him. He's just frustrated with himself and decided to have some fun, I guess. Killer Blue what? What is the number? Does anyone have Killer Blue?
He said he's not joining the interview.
He's not. He's Killer Blue's not doing interview? Okay. Well, that makes it easier for me because I have no idea what to fucking even put in there. Unnecessary F-bomb. I'm getting fined for that one. For my ZOR bucks, my bigga bucks. Garnished. Is Felipe here?
No, he couldn't make it either.
Okay, so it's just me and you.
Yes.
All right. Well, the guy that probably had the most uneventful race of the entire night. Obviously, did you put it on pole? I think you did, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
by quite a margin. So you put it on pole. You pretty much led every lap. Did you even lose any positions when you pit, or did you pit from the lead and maintain it?
I did go down to P4.
Okay.
I had Killer, Janet, and I can't remember. It was one of the soft runners. I want
Okay.
to say Eric, but I don't know. But yeah.
No, I think Eric started right at the back, so I'd be surprised if he was up
Uh,
there. But um, yeah, nonetheless, I guess Packer just had a really rough night. Didn't get a lap together in qualifying. And then sort of it looked like he had some connection issues, and like maybe the AI pit for him as well while he was offline. So it was just a disaster. He's trying to get those hard to the end, and then they punctured a few laps from the end. So it was basically even if he was close to getting a point, he didn't even it wasn't anywhere near it by the end. So obviously a huge swing. You missed last week's race. He gained a lot on you, but then tonight sort of nullified it. I mean, we're basically back to a 21 point spread again. I think you're up 21 points on him now after tonight. Um, I think 7 races to go, so um, obviously it's looking pretty good for you for the championship wise. I mean, as long as you show up and you're here every week, you've been quicker than Packer most of the season. So I'd imagine as long as you're here for every race and you know, unless he finds some serious amount of pace over the next few weeks, then you're looking pretty good for a championship here. How you feeling? How confident are you moving towards the final chunk of the season. Do you think you're going to put this thing away and secure that, or are you expecting Packer to give you a good fight down the final few races here? Felipe joined.
Um, yeah, obviously with Killer and Felipe joining the league as well, it's actually made me have to be a lot more consistent in races.
Yeah,
Which I think that's one thing that Ethan definitely struggles. What Packer definitely struggles on
yeah,
is consistency. Like he really should have built on what he made last week.
yeah,
Obviously, with
exactly.
me having technical difficulties, but yeah, I think as long as by Britain, which is, let me check, it's in 5 races time. Oh no, 4 races time. Sorry. As long as like Britain, I think if I can then kind of almost cruise like in the last 3 races, because I think on pure pace, Packer is a lot quicker in those last 3 races. So yeah, I think at the end of Britain, I hope to either have the championship wrapped up or be able to
Yeah,
kind of be like, oh, I can settle for like a P2 or a P3 or even
yeah.
like a P4 or P5 is like.
Just a handful
But
of points to lock it up, kind of thing.
yeah, but
Exactly.
because I think that's one thing that Packer just struggles on is just kind of keeping his head and keeping his consistency. Like tonight, obviously he had a few technical difficulties, but I mean, like going on the inters at the end, like it's a bit just it's a bit.
Yeah,
I
cheeky.
guess in his head it's a bit of fun, but at the same time it's kind of like it's
Yeah,
just a bit.
he's frustrated by that. I mean, at that point, like he was clawing tooth and nail trying to get a point or two, and ended up getting away
Mm.
from him because of a puncture. And I mean, I get it to an extent, but yeah, it
I mean,
definitely,
seeing him go a lap down,
yeah,
like it's always fun to see the guy in P2 in the championship a lap down, but
yeah, of
um,
course,
but yeah, but no, yeah, hopefully, yeah, there's a few good tracks coming up as well.
yeah,
So yeah,
it'll rebound.
hopefully, yeah, and obviously I think he'll pick up at least one, maybe two wins as well. But obviously Killer and Felipe will be right there as well. I
Yeah,
expect that at least one of them to pick up a win as well
they'll be
before
just
the end of the season.
they'll be disrupting things a little bit. So it's not going to be as
Yeah,
easy as like
definitely.
it was sort of you guys 1 and 2 at the front, but now it's two other guys in the mix that are causing a little bit of an issue. So it's not such a sure thing anymore.
No,
Um,
definitely.
So we'll move on to Felipe. He did join the party, so we'll get a quick word from him. I think you've been here every single week since you joined the league, so you got to be pretty happy with that. We're getting pretty used to hearing you in the booth. How you feeling down the home stretch here? We're moving towards, we're well past the halfway point of the season, so 7 races to go. Where do you think you can end up in the championship by the end of the season with the way you've been driving?
It is it is. I don't think I can get to the top because I start too late.
Yeah,
But I think I can aim to try get ahead of maybe Camden. But I know he got a lot of points before I come.
hmm
P4 would be a good one. I think me and Killer Blue will be fighting to beat each other
yeah,
at the moment. Um, but we joke and think. But I think we know Nathan going to win because Packard is too up and down. He does not. 1 week he is really good. Next week he doesn't do too much. I think my aim would be to beat Packer in races, but beat Camden in championship.
all right. Yeah, that's a pretty good goal, I would say. Camden's one of the most consistent guys here, and that's why he's always in the championship hunt. So, if that's your aim and you're looking to do it, it'll be a bit of a challenge, but it's definitely a good target to aim for. I feel. If
Yeah, I want the podium every week. That is my aim.
Yeah, so far you're doing pretty good. So you should be able to keep that up the way things have been going. Um, Obviously, like you said, Nathan looks like he's probably heading towards the championship at this rate. Packer with some issues here and there has cost him. You know, obviously he gained a lot last week, and managed to just be just in front heading into tonight, and then obviously you had a bad qualifying, and then technical issues in the race didn't help either, but the qualifying definitely hurt him as well. So, I mean, even if he didn't have those technical issues, like how many points was he scoring compared to Nathan tonight? It's hard to say, but I think he probably would have hit top 5 at least had had those issues. And you know, yeah, like I said, like you said, there's a little bit of inconsistency there, and um, you know, I think just that brutal pace he's got is bails him out of that most of the time. But sometimes it does just ends up costing you too much, and you put a couple guys like yourself and Killer Blue up at the front there, and it makes it a little harder. You know, like now it's even if you're the second fastest guy out there, now you've got 2 other guys that are pushing you and challenging you, and if they're not making mistakes and you are, then you're going to fall behind them. So, yeah, Packer's got some work to do, absolutely, but he's been a hell of a driver since he joined us last season. Won the championship, obviously, and he's been putting in some really good drives this year. So I imagine he bounces back, and he's going to make it really interesting down the home stretch. I wouldn't say this thing's even close to done yet. So that's it for the night. I'm going to wrap things up. We heard from our podium, 2 of our podium finishers. The other guy couldn't make it, unfortunately, but that's it for round 11. That was the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka, and we'll catch you guys next week. You can tune in for more Suzuka action Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. You'll catch the Tier 2 squad going at it 8 p.m. And Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UK time, we got the EU League tackling Suzuka. And then next week, we'll move on to round 12. I don't even know what the circuit is. I didn't do my homework yet again. So next week. Spain next week. All right. So that should be another track with no overtakes. But no, I don't mind tracks where it's hard to overtake because we end up with a lot of cars running nice and close together, and there's so many fast guys in this group that we end up with a really good like technical racing strategy becomes quite important. Camden doing some donuts for us here to wrap up the stream, so thanks for that, Camden. And we're gonna call it a night, and we'll catch you all next time. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here, and if you're watching this video on demand later on, leave a comment, hit a subscription for us, and tune in Thursday. Catch Tier 2. Have a good night, everyone.